While most retired NFL players have a little money in the bank, it's surprising to see how many of them end up with regular jobs like the rest of us once their playing days are over. There are even some who get a head start before their playing days are over. For others, you won't believe what they ended up doing with their life. Here's a look at the jobs former and some current NFL players hold with their days in football behind them. Here are some of the most interesting post-NFL life choices that ex-players have made along the way, working 9 to 5. Tony McGee. As an NFL tight end, Tony McGee is used to pushing his way through barriers. It's how he spent 11 seasons in the league, and how he endured a series of ambitious but failed business ventures after his playing days came to an end. Perpetually looking for the next career opportunity, McGee recognized that he has his eggs in too many baskets and narrowed his post-NFL career focus while still continuing to push forward. That's what directed him towards the shipping industry. McGee was running a perfectly successful roofing company when a friend told him about the profit potential in shipping. Loath to waste a shot at financial gains, the longtime Cincinnati Bengal soon went about building and developing his own freight company, H&M Global Logistics. H&M brought in over $1 million in revenue in its first year and hasn't looked back, with McGee maintaining a close watch as the company's CEO. Myron Roll. Call him Dr. Myron Roll, MD. Indeed, even with just 3 preseason games worth of NFL experience to his credit, the former Tennessee Titans safety made his mark on the league for being a little different than most players. The FSU alum became one of just 3 players to reach the league after earning a Rhodes Scholarship and even postponed his NFL shot to attend Oxford University. Don't cry for Roll for having never appeared in a regular season game, as he did okay for himself after hanging up his cleats. After pursuing a career in sports notorious for head trauma, he graduated from FSU School of Medicine last year and is now taking neurosurgery residency at Massachusetts General Hospital and Harvard. Officially a neurosurgeon, Roll doesn't exactly fit the typical gridiron meathead stereotype at all. Keith Fitzhugh. For a brief moment back in 2010, Keith found himself a subject of fascination in the blogosphere for essentially turning his back on the NFL. The Mississippi State product had experienced the same frustrations as so many other aspiring pro football players, getting signed and cut from the Baltimore Ravens and New York Jets without getting a sniff of game action. But rather than keep pushing in the face of disheartening rejection, Fitzhugh decided he had better things to do, railroad work specifically. If football was Fitzhugh's first love, then being a train conductor served as a close second. While financial security was obviously a major influence in staying on the railway, the former safety found himself content on the tracks while producing a steady paycheck. Now a terminal superintendent, Fitzhugh has stuck it out and remains a long-standing employee of Atlanta's Norfolk Southern Railway. Vince Young. Upon leading the Texas Longhorns to a national title victory over the mighty USC Trojans in an all-time classic 2006 Rose Bowl, Vince Young was at the top of the world. Sadly, it wouldn't last. His incredible college career earned him a runner-up finish in the 2005 Heisman race, but it would mark a fleeting highlight to be followed by a disappointing pro career. Unfortunately, the bumps in the road didn't end there for the oft-injured quarterback. Failed attempts to catch on with other NFL teams gave way to a comeback attempt in the CFL that fizzled out. During that time, Young had blown much of his $34 million in career earnings. Things finally got better for the 34-year-old when he returned to his college roots, taking a job as the development officer at the University of Texas Divisions of Diversity and Community Engagement. Bill Goldberg. Now, I'll admit, Bill Goldberg is far from the first NFL standout to try his hand at professional wrestling. Steve Mongo McMichael and Kevin Green both appeared in WCW, with Goldberg and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson actually played ahead of Warren Sapp at the University of Miami before becoming the biggest superstars in WWE history. Heck, even NFL Hall of Famers Lawrence Taylor main evented a WrestleMania against Bam Bam Bigelow. But Goldberg represents the first true case of an NFL alum foregoing a bona fide career in the squared circle. The former Atlanta Falcon didn't have to go far to get his big break, finding a job at Atlanta-based WCW. Of course, any pro wrestling fan of the last 20 years can recall his dominant undefeated tear through the Turner-owned Federation. As with most top talents, he eventually made his way to the WWE for another main event run. The master, the fearsome Jackhammer, will soon be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe.